is Faye's Fashion Friday. Today we are giving you a jump on fall by telling you what's hot for next season. And one of my favorite fall trends is campfire chic, you know. So I got to know, is Faye still mad about plaid, and what else is hot this year?
Faye Wetzel has boutiques in Mequon and Brookfield, and she's here with a preview of fall. This is my favorite season to dress for.
It's my favorite season too, and it's not really a preview of fall, girls. We are into fall in the fashion world.
But
we are totally fall.
With the weather the way it is, because we're expecting some warm temperatures through the weekend, I always wonder about this. Should you start rolling out the fall stuff, or do you wait for the weather?
Well, I think we're talking two different things.
Oh.
So when you're talking about shopping, I mean, our true fashion customer is shopping now, because she wants to know what's new, and she wants to buy it while it's still there. But when we're talking about how are we going to dress for fall, I think you really have to take your cues from what's happening outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I can't be that girl because I want to wear it right when I bought it.
Oh, do you?
Like I want to go home and put it on myself right then.
Yes.
And so the very first trend that we're going to talk about today is something that obviously I would have to wait a little while for, and that's the turtleneck. So turtlenecks has trends this year.
Isn't that interesting? I don't think I have ever seen the turtleneck as a trend. Okay, the turtleneck has always been a classic.
And here layered under the long jacket.
Yes. And so here we have a turtleneck, but this year it is absolutely a trend. But I think what you have to be careful again is not to pull out that turtleneck that you got from Fleet Farm that's real boxy and that you've washed 1,000 times. Okay?
Thank you.
So this turtleneck is just a little bit sleeker.
Maybe cashmere,
or a nice, you know, new cotton or something. But I think it's very interesting that the turtleneck is a trend.
And the color that we were looking at there in the very first photo that we showed you was dried herb. This is a color that is more of a neutral, more of a muted.
So if we could go back to that for a minute, I don't know if we can, but there we go. That's great. Okay, so in previous seasons we might have called this safari. We might have called this army green. But this season we're calling it dried herb.
Not sage.
Not sage, dried herb.
Okay,
and
got it.
And it is the #1 color.
Oh.
Of the entire season.
Now, if you have that sort of khaki green or that military green, does that...
Absolutely, you're in like Flint.
Oh, okay,
Just
I like
pull
that.
it out.
I like that. All right, so then we mentioned the turtleneck as a trend. What about this urban bohemian? Because I wonder, because you say it sort of has a Victorian influence. Can everybody pull this off? And is it age sort of...
I think some of this is a little bit younger, but when we get into this sort of bohemian chic, sort of morphing into Victorian influence, which is sort of just ruffles and feminine, I think that crosses a whole lot of ages.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like it. It's feminine.
And I think this also, it crosses over from spring into, transitions into fall really well, because it's sort of peasanty, you know, kind of off the shoulder, cold shoulder. Just sort of pretty and flowing, so it's a real good transition.
Okay, and you are still mad about plaid, yes?
I am, and our cameraman Paul, you know, he sort of sets the trend.
Where's Paul?
So yeah.
Are you wearing plaid today?
The trend.
No, not really. But okay, yeah.
But yeah, this continues. It sort of amazes me. I mean, Molly, you can tell me how many seasons has plaid been in?
It's been at least 3, maybe.
At least 3, yes.
Yeah.
And I would say bigger than ever. And a lot of this also comes from, there's sort of a haberdashery trend happening too, kind of a menswear thing. So this is sort of crossing over into that trend as well.
Okay, after you mentioned Fringe, one of the times that you were on here, I got a royal blue Fringe shirt that I kind of like. And that's the thing, is some things that you can get on trend can be affordable, and you just kind of weave it into your wardrobe and you look like you know what you're doing, or sort of, anyway.
Yes,
In my case.
yes, to all of that.
Yeah.
And I think accessories are a good way to do that, but I would say if you're one of those people who aren't really into trends, but you sort of like them, if you were going to buy one thing this season, buy something with Fringe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether it's a purse.
Whether it's a purse, whether it's a necklace, whether it's a jacket, whether it's a pair of pants, whether it's a fringe skirt, I don't care. Earrings, but buy something with Fringe.
Buy Fringe.
Okay, now let's talk leather, because leather is actually really big, and not just leather, but the variations on leather.
And remember when leather was just a fall thing, fall and winter thing. And now again, we're coming off of summer where tissue weight leather, we wore it all season long. Again, this is something that's very interesting to me, where leather used to be sort of edgy. And now it's really come into the mainstream, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that leather is a classic. So I think from here on out, whatever you have in leather, you're going to be able to wear forever.
That's wonderful.
So that's one to get and keep.
Yeah,
That's what
and
you
the
get and keep.
style right now can be kind of that shrunken silhouette. Sometimes I've seen it quilted.
Yes, we're still very fond of the biker jacket. And again, it should be a little bit shrunken. It should be a little bit cropped. And we are seeing the quilted look come on very, very strong this year. And that's kind of new.
Okay.
Okay, my favorite of all the trends we're talking about today has to do with gray. And I love gray. I love all variations on gray. And luckily, I'm in luck for this season.
Yeah.
And I like gray too, of course. But yes, and so this is sort of a new gray suit. There's all sorts of shades of gray, probably more than 50. But yes, gray is really the base color for this season.
Okay, and then you can pop color into it.
You can.
If you want.
Of course.
You say fur or faux fur trim on everything. So that's gloves, bottom of a skirt, around the neck.
And again, that's been something that's been going on for a few years. So again, feel very safe buying fur, wearing fur, faux fur, the leather. There's a lot of vegan leather out there. So, you know, something for everybody.
And the utilitarian parka, this is a bit
like
of
this.
a carryover, very cool. Though I want to ask you very quickly, though, about white in winter, which is not winter white. What is
That's right.
the difference?
Okay, but first of all, huge, that parka, I think that's brand new and that's pretty exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
Okay. So, yes, white in winter, not to be confused with winter white. Let me just explain for a moment. Let's look at this. Winter white, remember, is a classic, and it's sort of ivory and creamy, and you sort of always see it in cashmere or wool. This dress is like a summer dress almost.
Yeah.
That you can wear all year long. But look how this model has done it with the patterned hose
Yeah.
and the black belt. So it looks very deliberate. It just doesn't look like, oh my gosh.
She pulled out the
Yes,
right, the
yes.
white, and shouldn't be wearing it.
Details are important here with white all year long.
Okay, I'm going to run through the rest of the trends because we ran out of time, and you can just maybe say one thing about them as we leave. So botanicals are in. We also love the no let up in lace.
No
Looks
let up in
very,
lace, absolutely,
feminine.
yes.
You're wearing lace today. Sleeveless jacket or the longer.
That's new. Look at that. We really haven't seen that
That's
before.
fabulous.
Interesting and
That's
new.
culottes.
Still
Hilarious
for
for
spring
fall.
and summer, and here we are in fall. But they're great with boots.
Modern suiting and gray. Buy a blouse, you say. That's a trend.
Buy a blouse. This is a crazy one to me. You know, it used to be that a blouse was sort of like under a jacket.
Yeah.
And now the blouse is the jacket.
Yeah, I
So,
get that. And then high waist. I don't know if I'm into this
High
one.
waist and flare
jeans.
And I got to tell you,
Yay, I like this.
Do you, Molly? See, that's interesting because we have been getting requests for flare jeans like kind of all summer long. There's really an appetite for them. I kind of find it interesting, but
Wow.
I can dig it,
Yeah.
and I like high waist. I don't like it when it's all down around my hips all the time.
Yeah, I don't like that
Hiking
either,
my
but if they
pants
get too high, I don't look like mom jeans to me. Fays123.com is a great place to visit for her awesome newsletter. You can find out more about the trends. You can visit her boutiques. She's got super helpful people working for her in Mequon as well as Brookfield. There are the phone numbers on the screen for you. In Mequon, it's East Town Square, and Brookfield is Galleria West. Always a pleasure to see you.
happy fall, be loyal, shop local.
Peace on earth.
There we go.
There we go. I love it.